Well, hi there, I am Jeremiah Gibbs. I am your Camino guide, and today we're going to talk about how to choose a backpack. There's so many different options available to you. Many of them are going to be great for Camino de Santiago, but I want to talk about the features, talk about how you make a decision on your backpack, and give you a little bit of advice so that you can make the best decision for you for your Camino de Santiago pilgrimage. If you like content like this, then please click the like button. That will send it out to other people and let them know that this is great content for people that like Camino. And then if you are preparing for Camino, definitely click the subscribe button so that you can get my regular updates on gear, on sort of logistics and planning for Camino de Santiago, and on the spirituality and sort of purposes behind Camino as well. So click that subscribe button, and I hope that you will come back often. So before we get into specifics about the various backpacks and some of the features that you might look for and so on, I want to talk about kind of three values or sort of quick tips that are going to apply to all backpacks that I think could be really important for you. The first thing that I'm going to say is to just teach you about the value of being professionally fit for a backpack, or at least fit by someone who knows a lot about backpacking. I'm going to put a link on here on how you can measure torso length, but the torso length is going to be the primary measurement that you're going to use to be able to fit the right backpack for you. And torso length is not as simple as just saying that if you're between this height and this height, you're going to be this torso length. It's a little more complex than that, I'm not going to go through the details of that on this video, but certainly I'll put a link in the description so that you can measure your own torso length or have help doing it. But I really recommend going to a professional to have your torso length measured so that you get the right backpack to fit for you. The second thing that I would just really encourage you to do is to consider buying your backpack from a dealer that has an excellent return policy. REI is the one that I buy all of my packs from normally because REI has such a wonderful return policy for up to a year. Even after you've gotten some use out of it, you can go ahead and return it, and they're really excellent about that. And I do that with gear that I'm not sure if it's going to be the right fit. I make sure that I buy that gear from REI so that we can get the right fit for us. And the third thing that I would say is an important consideration for you on your backpack is going to be about the size that you would need for various seasons of the Camino, and especially because the gear that you will bring, you're going to bring more gear when it's colder than you do in the summer, and so what season you're in will determine a bit about which pack you're going to carry. Normally, I would say that people who go in the summer or even probably in the shoulder seasons as it's starting to come out of spring or into fall, probably a 30 to 35 liter pack. Packs are measured, their volume is measured in liters, so a 30 to 35 liter pack is probably going to work for most people in the summer, late spring, early fall. Whenever you start to get into those colder seasons, you may want to go up as much as a 40 or 45 liter pack. Probably for Camino, you would not have any purpose for anything over 45 liters, even in a cold part of the year, primarily because those larger packs are really for being able to carry tent and food supply and all those sorts of things that on Camino is simply not a need for us. We don't generally carry tents, we don't usually carry food, and just very little water with us, and so a pack much larger than that is just not going to be necessary for you. That caveat, let me just say that a lot of the packs that I'm going to show you today are going to be larger than 40 liters, and the reason is because I use my packs for multiple purposes, not just for Camino de Santiago. I should say one thing that you might notice about my wife's pack, because this is a pack that's designed for women, is that the big difference between a men's pack and a women's pack is that the straps are going to provide a cut that makes space for a woman's chest. So if you are a woman and you have you put on a men's pack and you think, oh, this seems to be pretty good, then certainly you could go ahead with that, and you may really love that pack. But if you may find that a women's pack makes room for your chest in a way that a men's pack does not. I should also clarify that all of the gear that I have here is gear that I've paid full price for. I don't get anything from these companies, but if you would click on those affiliate links that are down in the description, some of those links to Amazon are going to be affiliate links, and if you want to support this channel, then you certainly purchase gear there. I guess I should say, I've told you to go out and get professionally fitted, so I'm not suggesting that you even buy stuff from Amazon, but if you do, certainly I appreciate any support that you can give to be able to make these videos. So I want to talk about 3 categories of packs. These are just categories that I've sort of made up, but ways of thinking about packs that might be helpful to you. The first one I want to talk about are sort of the budget options. And if you want to be able to buy a pack that does everything that you need it to without spending a lot of money, I'm going to suggest that there's a few things that you're still going to need to look for in a budget pack. Even if you go out and you buy it from a Walmart or a store like that that's going to have a much cheaper options, then there's probably a few things that you're going to need. So this pack right here is called an REI Lookout 40. The Lookout 40 is, this is actually my wife's pack, but this REI pack I think probably is no more than $120 or $130. I think it's a pretty affordable pack. But one of the things that you'll notice here that it does very well is it still has a very substantial waist belt. The substantial waist belt is really critical to being able to have a pack that that is going to support your weight of the pack on the hips rather than going to support the weight of the pack on your shoulders, which is really critical to being able to carry the weight for long periods of time. You'll also notice that this Lookout 40 does have some good ventilation formed by the foam that's here. That ventilation is going to make sure that your back is not getting super sweaty and hot when you're out on the pack. You'll also, or on the trail, you also notice that this one does have a sleeve here and a little hook that's for putting a water bladder right down in the pack. I think folks who use water bladders may find this really helpful because that water bladder is not going to need to be loaded necessarily prior to using your pack. If you put your water bladder, if the water bladder holder is inside the pack, then sometimes it becomes a little challenging to get it in there once your pack is already loaded. A few features that you'll notice, we've got lots of straps here, straps to be able to strap items to the bottom of the pack, big zipper pulls, these hooks here, these sort of little hooks on the side, or not hooks but loops on the side, are going to allow you to have a different kinds of attachments that you'll see whenever I show you my pack. All of those are super helpful. You'll notice there's lots of different pouches and so on here that you can keep your gear in. These little elastic straps here are tool straps, so you can actually put like your trekking poles or other gear like that and tighten it up inside the strap. These tool straps are particularly helpful for holding things like trekking poles, umbrellas, things like that. So you may want to look for any of those kinds of attachments whenever you are looking for even a budget pack like this. You'll see this one has a pouch that you can actually put your water bottle into the side of the pouch. That makes it really easy to get the water bottle in and out of the pack. So these are all features you may want to look for, but the ones that are most critical whenever you're looking at budget packs is that you need to have a pack that's going to have a frame to it. You can see as I sort of bend that, that the frame itself is going to be carrying the weight of the pack. That frame is really essential. A substantial waist belt, not just some little loopy strap or something like that, but a big waist belt that can be tightened down on your waist to be able to make sure that you carry the weight of the pack on your hips rather than on your your shoulders. You'll notice this one also has a sleeping bag pouch and so on. So this one, although I'm calling this a budget pack and it is a very affordable pack, this one does not cause you to have to cut a lot of corners. But one of the things it does, one corner that it does cut, if you will, one sort of affordability measure, is that the pack itself, the straps, or the frame itself, is not adjustable. That is, the torso length of this pack is not adjustable. So they have a few different sizes, but if the sizes that they have available don't fit you, then you're just not going to be able to use that pack. But those are some things. Oh, I guess one other feature that you'll notice on this one, that some cheap packs will not have these load lifter straps, and these load lifter straps help pull the pack up close to your body, and that's going to be really helpful for being able to have the weight of the pack carry well. So even though this is kind of a budget pack, you'll notice it's got most of the features, including water bottle holders, a substantial waist belt, a frame, a lot of the things that you're going to need to be able to have a good experience with a pack. Now, the second category of pack that I'll talk about is, I'm just going to call these sort of Cadillac packs. And what I mean by Cadillac packs is they have kind of lots and lots of features that are going to make them really nice. This one is a pack from Deuter. This is called a Futura Vario. This is a 50-liter pack, much larger than is necessary for Camino, but you'll find all kinds of additional features, and especially you'll notice there's lashing points up here that I've got shock cord attached to the pack to be able to hold items, quick attach items to the top of the pack. One of the great reasons, and the reasons I love the Deuter pack, is this one also has a side entry, so you can actually get into the pack from the side rather than having to open everything up from the bottom. That's really helpful for being able to get items that are loaded onto the bottom of your pack. Not necessarily important for if you load your pack well, but it's a feature that I really appreciate. You'll notice also that this one has what is sometimes referred to as a pack brain. That is a large pouch on the top that will have a couple of different pouches to be able to store items in. All of those are really helpful for being able to organize gear in your pack. The one thing that I would say, though, the reason I would call these kind of Cadillac packs, and I'm going to show you my other one here in just a moment too, is that you'll notice a completely different frame structure on this pack than what you see on my wife's packs. First of all, the belt itself is much more substantial, and that's the reason I love this pack. It's the reason that I carry it, even when I could carry a much smaller pack. Is this pack has a really large belt structure. You'll notice that it's got some movement in the belt itself. That also helps to be able to make the pack more comfortable. You'll notice that there's a big vented area in the back, so very little actual material is touching my back whenever I'm wearing the pack, which means that it's very well ventilated. And you'll also notice this strap here, it says very fit. This allows the torso length of the pack to be adjusted so that it is exactly the right fit for you. You'll notice the frame here is not big, huge, heavy pieces of metal. The frame is just a small piece of metal in there, a couple of pieces of metal that helps support the weight of the pack and transfer the weight of the pack to that hip belt. I've carried loads of this pack of about 40 pounds at a time, and it's been very comfortable for me, and I don't have any concerns at all whenever I'm carrying a pack like this. Again, you'll notice all kinds of options across with various straps and attachments. This is actually an added attachment, doesn't come on the pack, but lots of different adjustments that come across various parts of the pack that make me call that a Cadillac pack. A pack really that has lots of adjustments to be able to make that super comfortable for you. In that same category, I might put this Osprey. This is an Atmos 50. You'll notice a lot of the same features. Again, you've got just a really substantial vented area that helps the airflow continue behind your back. A big substantial belt. This one actually has a variable belt that will wrap a little further around you if you want to. So lots of different features of these packs that are going to make them very comfortable for the long distance, and that's one of the reasons that I would call these Cadillac pack. You also notice that that some of them will have, like this has the soft vented material here that allows air to move through here. So you might put wet rain gear or your socks that are still wet or things like that in those areas, and that really helps to be able to have an area that you can have things drying out. If you're going camping, you would be able to put a tent in there and let it dry out throughout the day. Again, you'll see the big loops here to be able to attach lots of different items. This here is just a tool holder, again, to be able to put your trekking poles or various items like that on here. So so again, you know, whenever you get up to what these sort of Cadillac packs, you're much more substantial in all of the various pieces of it. But it is going to cost you a little bit more. It's also going to weigh a little bit more. So both of these packs, the Deuter and the Osprey, are both just over 4 pounds. And certainly you can get packs that are lighter than that. So those are the packs that I call the Cadillac packs. So that's going to be packs that are going to have lots and lots more features and so on, but then are also going to be a bit heavier and a bit more expensive. The last category of pack that I want to show you is what are becoming more and more popular really among thru hikers and such. These are referred to as ultralight packs. Now this ultralight pack is a Dan Durston designed, available on Amazon, sold through the Drop website. You'll notice that this is an ultralight pack, but it still has a pretty substantial waist belt. Some of the ultralight packs do not have a substantial waist belt. This one also has a frame. There's a very small piece of aluminum that goes around the perimeter of the pack, so this is still a framed ultralight pack. This one weighs about 32 ounces. You can get packs that weigh all the way down to about 15 or 16 ounces. So certainly you could get a lighter pack than this one. I really liked this one because it still comes with the frame. It has the big pouches on the side. It still does everything that my sort of Cadillac packs do in some ways. One of the other features that is really nice about these waterproof packs is that the ultralight packs, many of them, including this one, is a waterproof material. This is called an X-Pack material, and the pack itself is waterproof, so you don't have to do that mess around with putting on a pack cover whenever the rain starts. So I really like these waterproof ultralight packs. I have ultimately decided I'm probably not going to carry the ultralight pack, and the reason for that is I've really already been described in the Cadillac pack, is that you'll notice that there's no venting and no way that this prevents the pack from touching your back. And so I really don't love the way that this rides on my back, and your pack is kind of sweaty, and it does carry a bit more of the weight on your shoulders and so on than it would with one of the big Cadillac packs that I've been accustomed to wearing now for many years. So I bought this pack really hoping to, first of all, to be able to have a waterproof pack that would be waterproof on its own and not have to have that additional weight of the pack cover, but also just the hassle of having to put that on when the rain begins. But also was hopeful that I'd be able to cut more than 2 pounds from my pack weight, from the pack itself. And in some ways I certainly could do that, but as I got used to carrying it, I just decided that I personally did not prefer the ultralight pack. So you really need to spend a little bit of time with these, wearing various kinds of pack, paying attention to the pack that's going to be the best fit for you, and I really hope that that this video is helpful in you sort of sorting through some of the things that you might want to look for in a pack too. I hope that you found that video helpful. I hope that this is helpful for you as you discern what's going to be best for you as you make your way on Camino de Santiago. And definitely I hope that you will subscribe to this video if you're preparing, so that I can help you prepare for Camino de Santiago as well. And click the like button so others will see this video too.